In the past few weeks, the indie fanboy community threw their bucket hats on the ground in disgust and poured the rest of their strong brew dark fruits down the sink in an absolute rage, as Wet Leg proceeded to sweep up certain awards at both the Grammys and the Brits. Now, I believe music awards may have their pitfalls, but it's undoubtable music awards have provided us with some iconic moments. I mean, who could forget Kanye West interrupting Taylor Swift at the VMAs? Alex Turner giving that strange speech in 2014 at the Brits, effectively calling everyone in the entire room sludge. Adele running out of time in her speech and telling producers to do one. Oh, and obviously Matty Healy's hat. Now, being from England, I've always preferred the Brits to the Grammys, but realistically, they both have their own merits and downfalls. Yet their biggest downfall recently appears to be the fact that Wet Leg have won several awards, which a lot of people have deemed to be very undeserving, as Wet Leg have muscled out some long-standing competition to grasp their victory. And judging from the comments from my video several months back, people are either loving Wet Leg or not liking them at all still. But first, it's important to take a look at what the band actually won, who they beat, how they acted, and well, why does any of this matter? Just as a heads up, feel free to pause the video to take a better look at each of the tables I'm about to show you. At the Grammys, Wet Leg won Best Alternative Music Album and Best Alternative Music Performance, taking out some of the competition such as Yeah Yeah Yeahs and Arctic Monkeys. And at the Brits, Wet Leg won Best British Group and Best New Artist, taking out again Arctic Monkeys, the 1975, and people like Sam Ryder. Now, as we've got the tables to hand, I'm going to be blatantly honest and most likely divide people's opinions and not sit on the fence. Looking at the tables, do Wet Leg deserve to win their awards? Sure. I literally can look at each table and see an argument for Wet Leg winning the respective category. Now, does that mean that I'm happy Wet Leg won the awards? Somewhat yes and somewhat no. I certainly think they deserve their award, much as any artist in each of those categories would. But for me, I'd have preferred if Sam Ryder won Best New Artist. Whether you like his music or not, you can't deny he's had an outstanding year with regards to his performance at Eurovision and subsequent performances throughout the year, his rise to popularity, and all-round good vibes that he seems to bring in every interview and performance he gives. But equally, Wet Leg have had a pretty good year themselves. I also think realistically the best British group should have gone to the 1975, even despite my favourite band Arctic Monkeys being in the same category. The 1975 released what I'd say is their best album and have been absolutely killing their live shows and stirred up an almighty debate into what is art, what is their performance, and why is Matty Healy being so weird on stage? But again, I can easily see why Wet Leg won over the 1975, so it's just down to my preferences really. Looking at it this way, Wet Leg produced a great alternative album showcasing years of talent and experience, and a slightly different aspect to certain songs where they could have played it safe and just taken the standard indie routine. Personally, I think their album is pretty top notch and I don't particularly have any complaints about it. But really, I still think everyone takes issue with what I went through over in my previous video. There's this pretty big feeling that Wet Leg just sort of appeared with two songs, were overexposed to the public through a grueling media campaign to get their music out everywhere, and then suddenly were sweeping up awards, beating some good competition. I can easily see why this doesn't sit right with people, and well, I don't blame them at times. Even though I don't think that's quite an accurate description of Wet Leg's rise to fame, it's kind of hard to not see it that way at times. I think also maybe Wet Leg's public persona has rubbed people up the wrong way too. If you're stood around giggling like school kids and being generally awkward whilst winning awards a lot of people don't think you should be winning, then repeating Alex Turner's speech in such a strange manner, no one can tell if you're poking fun at it or what on earth is happening, then, well, it's not going to go down too well, is it? I think if you want to try and play the non-caring persona, then try and own it. Oasis did it for years. I mean, Arctic Monkeys even did it where they dressed up in countryside attire and began making fun of everyone in the room, so just go for it. Equally, if you think the whole awards thing is stupid, then commit to that too. I mean, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the creators of South Park, turned up to the Oscars wearing dresses because they thought it was so stupid a song from their South Park film was nominated. Or even if you just want to tell everyone to do one, openly say it like Adele did. I guess all of it comes down to how you interpret what they're doing. So, do Wet Leg deserve their awards? Yes, their album was good and they're a decent group. Should they maybe rethink their approach on stage? Yeah, maybe, yeah. Does any of it really matter? In many ways, yes, and many ways, no. These are just awards, and on some level it doesn't matter who wins them or how much respect you show them. You could argue that the respect you show bands or artists comes from elsewhere. But on the other side, these awards represent a lot of people who have dedicated years to their craft through creating new and innovative music, and reflect a sign of appreciation from both fans and peers alike. And maybe that does deserve some respect. But also, who cares? You know exactly who your favourite band is, and there's a million ways to show that. Overall, as someone who loves to discuss music and show appreciation for music, I quite like awards. awards ceremonies. Even if at times there are hints of controversy or people getting awards they don't deserve, I still love the core aspect of what they're meant to represent. A coming together of various people from different backgrounds and different styles of music, all to celebrate each other's work. Overall, I think Wet Leg should press ahead and ignore a lot of the hate and smash out a banging follow-up album to their great debut. But also, I feel they should maybe reflect how they really feel about going up on stage and accepting these awards. But I guess there is something that lures you into the band throughout just how peculiar they are, both in their personas and music. So, maybe don't change it all. As always, feel free to like and subscribe if you're new. And on that note, I think I'll say ta-ra for now, and I'll see you later.